I'm Carrie Kane. This is my wife, Monica Kane. We're the parents of Ella Kane, who was first a RYLA camper in 2023 and went back as an assistant counselor in 2024.
Hi, my name is Jill DeLotte, and I've had 3 children that have had the opportunity to attend RYLA. First, Caitlin in 2014, Sam in 2018, and Elizabeth in 2020, although that was a COVID year and a little strange with the digital format.
Hi, my name is Jane Bennett, and my daughter Allison Bennett and my son Zachary Bennett both attended RYLA between their junior and senior years of high school. Allie graduated in 2003 and Zach graduated in 2005.
My name is Prosper Iverson. My daughter's name is Nira Iverson, and
my name is Kami Williams. My son is Jed Williams. He is a RYLA camper of 2023.
Hi, I'm Linda Weintraub.
And I'm Mark Weintraub, and Leah Weintraub is our daughter who's attended RYLA since she was in high school.
And she started RYLA in 2009 and has been involved for the last 16 years. So she loved it so much, she's been back almost every year.
Hello, my name is Renee Magruder, and my child is Mallory Magruder.
We first heard about RYLA when Ella's soccer coach told us that she was going to be nominated for RYLA. So that's how we first heard about it. And of course we started looking for information then for what RYLA is.
The first time I heard about RYLA was from my daughter Caitlin when she was nominated. I'd never heard of it before, and I was anxious to see what it was all about.
Very interestingly, the school secretary told Allie about RYLA, and at first Allie thought she was not a good candidate. And this is important, she said, because I'm not president of the student council and I'm not head cheerleader. And the secretary said, it's not about roles that you play, it's about how people perceive you. And she said, you are a leader among your peers and you should try this.
I first heard about RYLA at the end of her junior year in 2023. She had gotten a recommendation from her sponsor through Interact Club, and he recommended that she apply because of her strong leadership skills and just her overall attitude.
I first learned about RYLA through my involvement with the Greenville Rotary Club.
And we were asked to describe what RYLA is about and why we decided to send her there. Well, first of all, she wanted to go there, and that was her big decision, and she was allowed, she was invited to go as a camper and had no idea really what it was when she was going there.
Right, as she came home from school, she was in high school and was interviewed to go to this leadership camp. So Leah was very excited to do it, and she was surprised that they chose different kids from all over
And
the
so,
Metroplex, so not just from her school.
And when we decided to send her, we knew that she was going to be exposed to things outside her comfort zone, but we had a lot of confidence from the folks at RYLA in terms of the safety they provide, how they provide counselors and constant monitoring. So we never really had any concerns about that at all when she, first decided to go.
I am a Rotarian. I moved to Frisco in 2010 and joined the Rotary Club. My committee that I joined was the youth committee, which chooses the students who go to RYLA every year. So that is where I heard about RYLA. In 2016, I became the RYLA treasurer, and I went to my first camp in 2016 and saw what an awesome experience it was. So when my daughter was eligible in 2017, I encouraged her to apply.
So what we knew about RYLA was that it was a leadership camp. We knew that there was an opportunity for Ella to develop her leadership skills and gain some confidence as well when interacting with other people. It allowed her to meet various leaders from around the area that had she not attended RYLA, she would not have been able to make connections with and pursue conversations with them outside of Camp RYLA?
Well, once I attended the parent information night, I'd never heard of RYLA before that. And once I attended it and heard the transformational stories and heard from the RYLA adults about what would be going on at the camp and what kind of a little bit about what to expect and what the students could expect, I thought it would be a very beneficial for my kids. I also was honored that their teachers knew about the program and thought that they would be a good fit for it. My kids had never attended any kind of sleepaway camp, so I was anxious for them to have that experience before they went off to college, and I thought it was a crucial time right before they started their senior year because I knew they'd be going off to college the next year.
Well, after that, we talked to some people in Rotary to find out what it was. And they said it's a week-long leadership camp for young people who are leaders, but mostly by default. They may be the strongest one in their group and the most outspoken. And at RYLA, they will learn how to work with other leaders, how to negotiate, how to take a side role sometimes to somebody else and support them. And I thought, wow, that's a really good thing, life lesson to learn.
Say RYLA is a leadership camp that brings students together to participate in activities that builds their confidence and helps them reach their potential, their true potential.
For parents who don't know about RYLA, I would say that it's an amazing opportunity for our students to step out of their comfort zone, and maybe even for you to be able to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and send your child away.
The fact that she was going to have not only constant counseling and mentoring to help her grow, but it was the team building that we heard about and learned about. It was the confidence building and the leadership building that was going to be with all these children from all over different high schools, and putting her in outside her comfort zone.
And for me, Leah came home and was so excited about attending RYLA. We were informed from the Rotary leaders about what it was going to be, about leadership skills, team building, and that these kids came back and always wanted to come back and give back. So we were very excited for Leah to go.
I would describe RYLA as a leadership camp where students are given tools to learn different leadership skills.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing was that Ella was going away and she wasn't going to have her phone. She was basically going to be out of communication. Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't be able to just check in and say, hey, how's it going? Are you okay? I think what's funny about that is after the fact, I think that was actually one of the advantages of it is right. That none of them had their phone, right? So I think what that did is it created a bond and a camaraderie with her and the other campers. Some resilience there, relying on themselves. So in the end, I think that was actually a positive. One of probably my biggest concerns ended up being a positive in the end.
Absolutely.
Before camp, when my second child went, I didn't have any worries because my first one had such a positive experience. I was a little anxious for when Caitlin went because I didn't know what to expect. But after she came back, I was excited for Sam to have that experience. I also love the fact they did not have their phones. I could have reached out to the RYLA folks if it was an emergency, or they could have reached out to me the same way. But I love the fact that the kids did not have their phones and were able to spend that week talking to other kids and learning to communicate rather than having their phones all the time.
Having found out about Rotary is such a good organization, I was sure that they had, I really just wasn't worried about that at all. And of course, in later years, both became junior counselors, then they became counselors, and Allie went on to be staff for many, many years.
Yes, I absolutely did. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to communicate with her throughout the week because the rules with her not having her phone with her at all times, we weren't going to be able to reach her. But it all turned out just fine. And it was a good experience for her and for us as well.
I think it's natural as parents to be concerned to send our children away for a week, potentially with people that we don't know, don't have connections with, and to know that they don't have their phone. We're such a connected world that that can be kind of intimidating for both you and your camper. I would say lean into that and know that the organizers of Camp RYLA have the best interest of our students at hand, and that if they need you for any reason, they'll ensure that they can reach out to you.
We were not concerned at all. Leah had been to camp before, and we were assured at camp that there would be a mentor in a cabin with them at all times, that there was medical staff there available if there were any problems. So no, we were not at all concerned.
And what we learned too was nowadays, where there's so much concern about safety and exposure for kids, is that RYLA really goes beyond everything to put the priority on the safety of the children in a safe environment. They're all in the same camp. They're not allowed to leave, and they don't have their phones for a reason, so that they can pay attention to what they're doing and the experiences they're getting. And that, you know, if you're thinking about it, you should feel really comfortable, because this is as comfortable as you could ever be in terms of a safe and closed environment.
Again, because I am in Rotary and I know the people who go to camp, I didn't have those concerns. What I will say my biggest concern is it's a lot. It's a very packed schedule. And I was a little worried about my child being able to get up early in the morning and keep up with the 6 a.m. to midnight kind of routine. So that I was a little concerned about. And the other was, I had really encouraged her to go, and that it would sort of live up to what my expectations were of camp.
So Ella said that some days were challenging. She said they were, but they were all worth it. There were a lot of early mornings, long days, late nights to finish up projects, to work with your team and not let your team down. She also talked a lot about, just hanging out with her friends and really developing, like Carrie said, that close-knit bond. And that's one of the areas where we've seen a lot of growth. I mean, her circle of friends is broadened tremendously because of her Camp RYLA experience, because she was able to meet people from around the Metroplex that, had she not participated, she would not have been able to do that. And they get together over the summer every year now and connect and stay in contact throughout college and celebrate each other, cheer each other on. It's a really great network of friends. As far as Ella's growth, we really have seen her really cultivate her leadership style, and then also help her recognize other people's leadership styles, which may be different than her own. And she was able to pull that out of them and allow them to lead as well. So I think being able to recognize that not everybody has to lead from the front, but some can lead from the back, and being able to recognize that and help them fine-tune their leadership styles too.
RYLA was just a great opportunity to be around other people and also to embrace their uniqueness, which is one thing that RYLA really does. I know my oldest daughter, Caitlin, she emerged as a leader and with a lot more self-confidence than she had when she went there. I think just talking to other people and it was really helpful for her there. Sam was already a leader when he went there, but I also think that he gained more information about being a servant leader and being an empathetic leader, and also building relationships, which he still has today. Elizabeth, again, was, during the COVID year, but I think it did teach her that because of, just because the world shuts down doesn't mean your connections are lost, and you can still build relationships through that, and pivot if needed, which is what RYLA had to do during the COVID years.
For our daughter, one of the things that it opened up, somebody came and spoke about the exchange student program, and she got very, very excited about that. They have speakers on a lot of topics, so you never know what's going to touch one child or another, and that's what touched her. She wanted to apply for it, And after her senior year of high school, she spent a year abroad in France, which changed her life. For our son, he was pretty quiet. Even though his friends saw him as a leader in their group, he just, didn't want to speak in front of groups or anything like that. And in RYLA, their motto is step out of your comfort zone. So they had him speaking and leading groups, and he just came back with so much more confidence. It was very exciting.
She shared a lot about her experiences. She was excited when she came back, and she had learned a lot, and she had made a lot of friends, and she had grown. And surprisingly, in a week, her confidence in herself had just blossomed, and it was great to see.
I've seen my child and other children try to explain their experience of RYLA, and it's somewhat difficult. It's a unique experience, and there's so much that occurs during the week. I got to see growth in my son, and for him to step out of his comfort zone in so many ways and take on new challenges that he may not have taken before.
Leah came home so excited about giving back. She was all about this servant leadership and being involved in a community, and how she found out there were so many different kinds of leaders, quiet leaders, and she was so excited and wanted to be involved and wanted to go back the next year and share what she had learned. And she could never stop talking about it. It was really inspiring for her.
Yeah, and I think the fact that she wanted to share her experiences with others and give back to others was a big deal. And she really learned how to, again, get outside her comfort zone, but to face her own fears in an environment with peers, not parents and people that, are always telling you what to do.
So I would say for my child that RYLA has been kind of like a slow burn for her. She has been fortunate enough to continue to be a part of RYLA. So, as parents, I would encourage you to encourage your children to stay involved with RYLA even after camp is over. I did see changes in my child in the first year, but I would say over the years as she's stayed with the program, I've just seen her confidence and continue to grow.
If you're unsure, I would say do it. One of the things that I get a kick out of is just hearing about all the other campers that are now in her network of friends, the various backgrounds all over the Metroplex, but even beyond, some friends in Greenville and other places, various backgrounds, different styles, different personalities, different communication type. But really, in this week, they formed this bond and collaborated. And the kick that I get is that I know Ella learned a lot about herself in this process as well. She learned a lot about others, but she learned a lot about herself through the eyes of others as well. And I think that was a really unique experience. And I really appreciated that as well.
Well, if you're unsure about sending your child away for a week, I would talk to the people in Rotary who are in charge of the camp and find out some more details. They have medical people on staff. What's great is that the kids run everything there. They do the newsletter. They have supervision from the staff, but they are in charge for the whole week. It's just a real positive experience. And, I think anybody from past RYLA or from the Rotary group can allay any fears that parents have.
Being unsure is natural, and it's something that is new and unknown, but RYLA is such a great experience, and your child will come back with some great stories, great friends, and great memories, and be transformed in her confidence.
For parents who may be unsure about sending your child to camp, don't leave this opportunity on the table. Encourage them to do new things and experience new people and new opportunities. So much of that is ahead of them in their future as they go into their senior year and make choices for college and things like that. It's a great opportunity for both you and your student to experience a little bit of that, taste it, and come home and reflect and talk about it together.
Well, I think we said it's an incredibly safe environment, so there shouldn't really be concerned about security. That's number one, I think, in a lot of people's minds. Why we would recommend it is that it's just all the things that our daughter's gotten out of that, which is not only giving back to the community, but feeling a sense of community among all the RYLA alumni who constantly go back and give back and want to help other kids have the same experience they had while they're there.
Right, I agree. I think it's just confidence building. It gives them kind of a diversity training, and I think it's life altering for kids.
If it's just being away from them for the week, I will tell you for them, it goes by very quickly. You can be on all of our social medias and you can see your child all week. There's a lot of opportunity to see what's happening with them. But for them, the experience in and of itself, going to summer camp and being around, other students who are high achievers, that in and of itself, I would just encourage any student to go to.
Growth, bonding,
Intentional.
Yeah. I think based on what Ella said, the program was intentionally done. You can see it was challenging at some points, but that's how growth happens. Mm-hmm. And the bonds that go on, even now, a couple years later, I think those are phenomenal bonds as well.
Absolutely. It really brought Ella out of her shell. Not that she was ever shy, but it really helped bring her out of her shell within different social settings as well.
Yeah, I think she recognizes a lot about others now that maybe she wouldn't have before. Yeah.
The 3 words are life-changing experience, and it really was for both our children.
I would describe Camp RYLA as an encouraging, empowering, and transformative.
I would say the 3 words I would use to describe Camp RYLA are, for the students, enlightening, confidence building, and transformative.
3 words that I would use to describe Camp RYLA would be exciting, challenging, and diverse. There are so many new things that they experience at RYLA and so many things that they learn about themselves, about their leadership ability, and all the things that they're capable of doing.
My 3 would be transformational, inspiring, and exhausting. She came home exhausted and wanted to sleep for days.
Well, she still comes home exhausted, which is a testament to that. They make these kids, work hard to have fun, but it's something that they cram a lot of things into that week. And so transformational, I agree. I think the ability to have a diverse environment was really eye-opening and confidence building.
Is that the last one?
Yep. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, great. You guys did so good. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.